controller players, have you ever wished you could just hit one or two buttons and go to any slot you want without rotating between R1 and L1? So I want to go from 1 to 3 without hitting a button 2 times and maybe overshooting it and going to 4 instead. Well, I got you. We're going to go on over to our settings. Okay. So, settings. There we go. I'm going to go to settings and go on over to your controller. And then on the left, you have your input for first, and your second is quick weapon. You're going to go to quick weapon. It is going to be set to custom only likely. So we're going to select it, go over and hit enable. Now we've enabled something very fun. So let's go test it, and then we'll come back and I'll explain the rest of the rest of the options for quick weapon. Okay. So when I hit R1, I'm instantly going to my shotgun. Okay. As soon as I release the R1, it's going to go to my shotgun. Okay. Now, when I want to go to a different weapon, maybe I want to go to slot 4, I hold R1 and select the circle. Bam. Triangle goes to the center. This third slot, second slot, my AR. Now, if I want to go from my AR back to my shotgun, I hit R1. Boom. Now, say I'm shooting and I want to go back to my AR. I have it set so it's whatever my previous weapon was is how I can hit R1 again and it goes to the previous weapon, right? Okay. So I have it set so that my previous weapon, whatever that was, will be what is selected if I hit R1 again. So if it's a grappler and I go to my one and I go back, I'm going to go back to a grappler. Let's go back to our settings and discuss what the rest of these things do. All right, so now that we've enabled it, the show diamond is the little diamond that popped up on the bottom showing me which face button to select to change my weapon. Now, if it's set to 0, it's going to come up immediately. If we set it to the maximum, it's never going to show up. It's going to be disabled. I will eventually disable myself because once it's muscle memory, there's no reason to have that blocking up that little part of the screen. Again, the toggle behavior. Here is where I have it equipped to my previously equipped item. You have 3 choices. You can do toggle behavior to none, meaning it will, if you accidentally hit R1, it will never go away from your first slot. Or you can make it slot 2, or you can do your previously equipped item. I prefer the previously equipped item, but you do it however you want. Instant toggle, if you turn this on, it means as soon as you hit the R1, it immediately goes. You do not have to release it for it to go to your first weapon. So as soon as it's touched, it goes back and forth. So it's just a little quicker, okay? Because if you're on something and you click, you have to hold it to switch to a different one, right? So, but as soon as it's touched, it goes to that first slot, right? So if I'm on a different weapon, as soon as I touch it, before I've hit the other button, it's going to automatically go to 1. So it will be a pretty quick change if you're not quick enough. But that, again, that's preference. I have mine turned off on this. And then your bottom one is your button group. This is how you're going to select your weapon, okay? I have mine set to both, so I can choose either my D-pad, which is my directional pad, or my face buttons. I tend to use the face buttons because they're just, you're already playing with a lot of them anyways. So I do, but you can, like I'm using the arrows right now, the directional pad, to change the weapon. And so it does work either way for me because I have both selected, okay? So there's that. The other option is if you make sure that you have your configuration on for your preferred item slots, I have mine configured, right? So if you go over to game and you go to combat, preferred slots, you go into here, and then the shots are on. So like when I pick up a shotgun, when I start playing, these automatically start loading into these slots for me, and that also makes it using that quick weapon much easier because my shotgun and my AR are always going to be slot 1 and 5, and then the rest of my items are going to load out into the other slots. Now sometimes, obviously, if it's full, it will not. If your inventory is full, it's not going to if you pick up like heals, consumables, it's not going to go to slot 3 if you're full. It's going to change out with whatever item you already have selected to swap it out with, right? So there is sometimes that you're going to have to go back into the menu um, and change out your weapon, like the old school way, like switching stuff like this, right? So there are times you're going to have to do that. But overall, this is like my gaming has become so much better after changing this. And I've had so many people ask me how you do this that I just decided to do a video on it. And I'm going to put it out there and hopefully it helps some people out. Because I have way less, there's still erroring. You're still going to have errors, especially while you're learning how to switch the weapons with the new keybinds. But they're not going to be an error where you're going for slot 3 and you overshoot it by hitting R1, L1, and you overshoot it by 1 because you're hurrying, right, to get to the weapon as quick as you can. Because you're only going to go right to slot 3 by hitting the triangle button. There's no other way to do it except for hit R1 and triangle, and it takes you to slot 3. So you're not going to overshoot a weapon, okay? You can still panic and hit the wrong button by mistake, but again, you're gonna have less of that, to be honest. I did. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope this helps you. And I'm gonna post clips here and there and things. So if you wanna give my account a follow, go for it. But no harm, no foul either way. So have a great day.